Interesting. So there's new software. All right. We're live. We made it. It happened. We're in. Awesome. Hello, everyone, and good morning. If there's anyone in here right now, hello. Got a few things I got to do on my bike today. Because, quite honestly, my brakes feel like crap. What's up, Ayala? The first thing I need to do is I need to check. There's some sort of like wobble in my back wheel. Dang, what's up, everybody? There's everybody in here. Jess, Bowen, Aiden, Bryce, everybody's here. So, I can't feel the wobble right now. What's up? Kate, Cobalt, everybody. You're all awesome. Kiss BMX, man. Everybody's in here. So I felt a wobble in my wheel. All right. I'm going to make sure I'm not going crazy first. Thought I felt a wobble, but on the stand I don't feel anything. It's me, the cheese. What's up, Sean? I'm in Ohio. Okay, so there's like a tiny bit of wobble in there. New bike comes in the mail in 2 days. Jonathan Turner, have you ever watched a show called Boy Meets World? Anyone who's old enough will immediately know what I'm referencing. So I actually don't even feel this wobble anymore, which is weird because I really felt it at Ray's. Watching from Northern Ireland. Holy cow, what time is it there? Oh, there it is. Okay, I can feel it there. That is weird. It's like the tiniest little bit of wobble. So, and like I can't feel it there. How can I only feel it from one position? Right there. Okay. So I do feel the wobble. Yes. Yeah, nowhere. Finished up the foam pit. Carl's probably going to be starting on some more stuff as soon as he possibly can. Okay. So I do feel the wobble. I'm just going to make sure that the jam nut's tight. Brazil! Holy cow. That's awesome. I'm pretty sad that I have to do this just because my wheel was in a really good spot. Whew. Okay. One. And oh my goodness. I'm still weak from being sick. 2. Okay. And while my wheel's off, it'll be a good time to mess with the brakes. Okay. Top off the chain. Thank you, Ramy. Yes, I'm going to ride today too. I don't think it's the driver. I mess with it at Ray's. And I'm not sure. Honestly not sure what it is. 61 degrees, man. Yeah, literally taking off the back wheel sucks. No matter what it's for. Trying to do this without letting air out. Okay. So what I didn't check when I was doing this was the non-drive side. Any tips to quiet down brakes? No, because when they're loud, it means they're working well. Okay, so first of all, check the driver. Everything feels good. in the driver. So hopefully it's in that. Otherwise it means that it's in the bearing. We're in a bearing. And I really don't want to take this thing apart. Especially because I don't think I have bearings. I live in Ohio and it's going to be 62 on Christmas. Where are you at in Ohio where it's going to be 62 on Christmas? Today's the warmest day where I'm at. Oh, we have a loose jam nut. Let's hope that's the problem. Let's hope. Alright, so we need an 8mm Colorado 61 degrees. Man, I'm jealous of you guys. Need our crescent wrench. Also, shout out to Park Tool because they're the best. They're just stupid loud. Well, stupid loud brakes means that they're stupidly working well. Cincinnati. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, you guys are usually a little bit warmer down there. Does feel like it's rolling a little crunchy. Interesting. How many people are in here right now? I don't know how to read this new YouTube setup. Pretty sure my axle is straight still. Yes, this axle is holding up well. Okay, I think we're good there. I'm going to set that aside. 11. Well, thank you to all 11 of you people for being here. Alright, so brakes back together and let's see if we can figure out what's going on with them. Because they just feel like garbage. Ugh. I live in Virginia and it's funny because we get more snow going into the spring than we do in the winter. Nice. Actually not nice. I lied. Okay. Got the big old Park toolbox. Has anyone else noticed though that like it seems like the seasons are shifting and that it's like winter is lasting longer and starting later? Because that's what it feels like is happening. Okay. So these literally just feel like garbage. I think I need to like completely start over and do the grease the mounts and all that stuff. I'm glad your upper cable's working good, Kiss BMX. Always like when people use that setup. Another thing that I noticed is some flex in this area right here. I've got a whole video about this setup where it's a cable looping through a NARP and then coming back through a bolt. But I noticed some flex. I'm just going to literally pinch it out with these pliers. So you get rid of the flex. then your brakes will be more solid because it's more direct. It will also change how they pull or where they sit, because when you get rid of the flex, you're basically making the cable longer, at least where it sits at. So hopefully that helps. It is twisted funny too. Yeah. Maybe that'll make it better. Is anybody riding today? I'm riding today. I don't care that I'm sick. I'm riding. Already feels a little bit better. Let's check the other side. Other side has flex too. And it's like not a direct, straight line either. Crap. I don't know how to fix this one. I love brakes, but hate working on them. Right there with you, man. I don't mind it too much, but sometimes it's a pain. But it's worth it, because I literally would have no tricks if I didn't have brakes. Most of my tricks come from having brakes. Or brakes help with most of my tricks, rather. Alright, I think that's good. Cracked your frame and then took the entire thing apart. That sucks. I forgot about the lever. I'm gonna grease everything up. But first, I'm gonna take the whole damn thing apart. We are doing the same thing right now. I'm just at the shop. Are you working on your own bike, Jeff? Are you working on someone else's? You know what would probably make this easier? If I raised it up using the Park Tool PCS 10.2. Because you can do that. And voila! Things are at eye level now, so I can see. Just a tip for anyone who's doing this ever. Pay attention when you loosen your brake cap to which way it goes, because it does matter. Oh, and if you do this without your back wheel on, you can do this and just loosen without having to go, all right, we gotta take the Allen back out, go like that. You know what? I think you guys could get closer. Let's bring a little bit closer here. That should be better. My bike always works. Ha! It's better if you work at a bike shop. I think it's about time for new brakes for this bike, though. Oh, that feels a little crunchy moving around there. Time for a clean and a grease. So I need to grab a rag. Alright. Clean off this brake arm. Stopped watching Corey Welsh's edit for this. Well, looks like I can retire happy now, because that's a crazy compliment. Where's my screwdriver? Why do people put tennis balls in their wheels? Literally just for aesthetics. That is the only reason. Unless there's some kind of crazy physics going on that I don't know about. I feel like this alone is going to help a lot. Kurt, why are you putting so much pressure on me? You're putting off your watching the Corey Walsh video for this. I mean, not to put my own self down, but Corey Walsh probably put a lot of work into that video. And if you've ever seen that guy ride in person, you know how insane he is. Like, the dude legitimately is hanging on for dear life because that's how fast he's going. Are you putting those front brakes on this morning? No, but guess what? Tonight, Victoria and I are building up her now, the Soundwave, the Surf Blue Soundwave. We're building that up as my front brake bike and her bike. So we're gonna put my other coaster wheel onto that bike. We're gonna put the front brakes onto that bike, so it'll pretty much be identical to this, other than the offset of the forks and the stem bar setup. I'm gonna work on getting that situated. Corey Walsh is a hack. Why is he a hack? Sometimes keep spokes from creaking for grinders. Just tighten your spokes. If they're creaking, it means they're loose. I guess you'd kind of covered that by saying grinders. Those guys don't work on their bikes. Tell me this, why is Began's bike so crusty? Why is any pro who's like legitimately paid pro have a crusty bike? The whole idea is that you're getting paid so that you show people the nice bike and get people to want to buy it, and you know. Nice. Let's make sure that's tight. Street kids barely got a 17, let alone a spoke wrench. Well, that's what you're for, Jeff. Alright, now I gotta think about this. Here we go. Just making sure it's tight. Now, we get out the trusty Polylube 1000 from Park Tool. Am I chain lube? No, okay. I didn't put the cap all the way back on my chain lube one time, and it leaked everywhere in my toolbox. Luckily, it's separated into compartments, so it didn't spread too far. But man, it was a little bit of a mess. So the moral of the story is put the cap back on your stuff when you're done using it, or you're gonna make a mess. And I definitely put way too much grease on there just now. But here's the thing. I don't care. I like having my brakes work. And right now, before this, they did not work very well. Okay. So that side's good to go. Gonna set it aside, take off the other side, and do the exact same thing. And to the 18, I saw 20 in here for a second. To all of you, thank you. You're awesome. Next side. I can't even remember. There. Once again, pay attention to the direction that you're loosening things, or to the direction that your spring goes when you loosen this, because you need to know that whenever you tighten it back up. Well, we had a bunch of people in here, now everybody's just leaving. Alright. Clean this one off too. Is that metal? Nice, that's metal. How's the audio? Can you guys hear me all right? Look how this is trail dirt. Focus phone. There you go. That is trail dirt and dust and not cleaning my bike for a while. Get this stuff all good. Is everything, seems like it like froze or something. Is everything working? Good audio? Okay, cool. I think we're all right. Clean out. I'm getting an entirely new bike for Christmas. New stem, frame, tires, pegs, and hub guards. You better say thank you to your parents if they're the ones that are buying it for you. That is a lot. Dude, no wonder this thing felt like crap. Gotta maintenance your bike or it's gonna feel like junk, people. Boom. Okay. Next. Clean off the brake mount. Make sure that it's tight. Okay. We're gonna double check this one now that I got a better way to do it. Alright. Next, greasing. That's probably more than enough, so we're good. Well, we were up to 20 people in here. Now we're down to 12. I'm boring. Sorry, guys. But I figured I would just work on my bike and live stream it for all y'all. Okay. You also want to make sure that you don't get grease inside the threads for your brake mounts, because then your brake mount, or then your bolts might come loose. I want my arm healed so I can ride my new bike. Oh, the torture. That does suck. Christmas present to myself was a complete snafu dual gyro cable setup. That is what I used to ride before I started making my cables. That's a good setup. Ugh. I really want to clean this, but I guess I need to because it's pretty nasty. 10:30. Gonna go ride once it warms up. It's still like 30 degrees outside. It's gonna get up to 50 something today. And my buddy who used to ride out here, or who I grew up riding with out here, who moved to Oklahoma, is in town. So we're gonna go shred. No! Gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Can you tell I'm still sick? Alright. Reassembly of the brakes. Part 1. Cap and spring back on. And actually, I would really like to get my pads aligned without the with the wheel on, without the spring tension set, because then you can align your pads like perfectly. and not have to pull your springs or anything like that. But I don't know if I feel like it. 47 and getting back into BMX. How old's everybody who's watching? That's awesome that you're getting back into it, Mitch. I'm glad to hear it. BMX needs you. BMX needs all of us. Oh yeah. That's gonna make a big difference by itself. I think I'm gonna put my wheel back on just so that it's easier. It'll make spring tension a little bit more difficult, but spring tension's easy. Pad alignment is not. And putting my, oh yeah, hub guard. And putting my stuff back on is so much easier without brake pads getting in the way. Clark is 38, Jonathan is 20, Sean is 43. Wow, we've got a range here. Jeff Mead is like 80. Not really, I'm just kidding. Okay. Oh, you dingus. Get that chain back through. This is just why I do these things. So you guys can watch me fail at putting bikes together and working on bikes. Because sometimes I suck at this. Why does this seem like it's not right? Probably because I'm not standing. There. Brakes in the way. Oh, sorry about the heater. $14. 33. We'll be 40 in May. Nice. You should see the looks I got on my hot pink Sunday primer. Dude, the hot pink Sundays are so good looking though. The bike shop Brimstone had one of those. They had the whatever model come, if there's more than one that comes in pink, but dude, they had one of those for so long and I could not understand why no one bought it. Oh, it was so nice. Alright, so now we put this back on. And literally this is my least favorite part of working on bikes. Getting the chain tension and wheel placement correct. Because my goodness, does it seem like I can never do it? And before anyone says it, I know I have chain tensioners. Here. I've got the technology. We'll just tilt it up. Let's tighten it down. Let's see here. Before I go crazy. It's too tight. That's the problem. Centered. Okay. Okay, so what do I need to do here? I need to move it. Logically, and I have a video about this that has like 50,000 views, and I still can't do it right. So if I move it this way to tighten this down, then I can loosen that side, bring it forward a tiny, tiny bit. It's literally just logic, and I still suck at it. Sorry. Oh, it's still way too tight. Dang it. Way too tight. Alright. So we'll just walk it back and forth. Jeez. Might be time for a new sprocket. Crazy. We won't talk about that. Oh, that's too much. Like I said, I am the worst at this part of working on bikes. Probably should have cleaned out everything too while I had it off of there. I didn't even think about that. I wonder. I think I'm going to take off my spacer for my cone spacer on the drive side, because technically it's not even supposed to be there. So we're going to pause this side of things before moving on, because I also have a few other things that I need to do. I went through this struggle today. Dude, it sucks. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't even tighten the peg side yet. Tighten this. I'm gonna work on my cranks for a second, or at least the crank area of things. Sprocket's actually pretty clean, but even so, it can always be cleaned. I can feel all the junk. That's making your chain get tight spots. What can you do to make your brake lines not wear off the paint on your frame? Electrical tape, all kinds of stuff. Get creative with it. Stickers. Do something that looks good to you and also protects it. Dan, you're right though about chain stretch. I would probably not grind down your chain pin. That sounds like a terrible idea. But if you have no other choice, I don't really know what to tell you then. I almost need to flip the bike, because I have to work on the left side of it too. Flip it. Okay. Now it'll be easier. So I've got a couple things to check out here. One, I've got a new cluster wedge guy for my cranks. And two, I've got a pedal spindle that I'm going to see if works. Grab my plastic. Maybe, my goodness, that is on there. Man, that's how I get hit in the face. So these wedge clusters, no more. That, no more. Geez, that sprocket is dirty on the inside. I'll just let the pin grind a groove into the sprocket. You could also push the pin out the other side just a tiny bit. I know those Masterlink pins are pretty long, so it's probably, is it centered and still hitting? I feel like this would be faster with the rag. Oh, the memories of working on bikes as a kid. Do you guys remember working on your bikes as kids? Because that's all I'm thinking about right now. I have a question. What do you think about judging in nowadays competition? I don't know if it's so much judging as it is the format that I have a problem with, because the judges just go with like what they have to, but the format is kind of what sucks, because it basically turns BMX into figure skating. The riders have no freedom to try things that they might not land. So it's like, that's why contests back in the day I think were so awesome, is that it's a combination of riders sending huge stuff at the same time as doing really well in their riding. And you just cannot do that anymore. You have to be perfect. So I don't know if I would so much say it's the judging that I don't like as the format. because the judges have to do what they have to do based on the format. Now, if somebody's being very picking favorites as a judge, well, then that kind of sucks too. Um, 265. Just if you're going to push the pin through at all, just make sure that there's a lot of it still sticking out the other side. Obviously, you want to be safe. You don't want to push it through so far that while you're riding, it's gonna like come out. And honestly, if it doesn't seem like it, because I know those pins are wider than the rest of the pins on the chain, so just make sure it's still sticking out further than all of the rest of the pins on that side. Don't make it flush or anything like that. I would not cut the pin at all. Like you first asked. That sounds scary. Oh, so much grease. Jeez. It's cleaned out inside. What do you think of Kevin getting Rider of the Year from Vital? Kevin killed it this year. I don't pay then peen it with a hammer ASAP. That's a good point too. Honestly, just take it to your local bike shop and ask them about it. I wouldn't even try to mess with it because you could mess things up or hurt yourself. Take it to someone like Jeff, who works on bikes every single day as their job. What the heck happened there? How'd that grease get everywhere? Oh, an impromptu how-to for working on Odyssey Thunderbolt cranks. Make sure you grease up the insides where the wedges come into contact very well. Then you put your wedges on, thick side, inside. And you just put them on there. And if you do it properly, the wedges are taken up by the entire spindle. It's flush. The wedges go on, and the same amount of wedge is how much spindle sticks through. I'm rubbing on my frame. Man, I need a spacer. And if you have a big sprocket, it might rub on your frame without a spacer there. So I'm going to have to get some sort of spacer, which I definitely think I got to get into my car for. But that is too much. Messes with the chain alignment. I've been riding it like that for far too long. Oh, let's see. Dig into the old goodie bag here and see what we can find. There has to be some sort of 22mm spacer in here. That looks like 19. Yes. Duh. That's literally the same size as the profile one. Uh-oh. Am I going to have to keep my spacer on there? Because I don't have another one. might be skinnier. Got one that's slightly smaller. Does anybody else have one of these? I have two, and they're not even from chains I bought. They're from people I know. No spacers. This is the only one that I have. Which is still skinnier than the cone spacer, so we're gonna rock it. And it's actually just about enough clearance that I feel safe with it. Can you talk about airs? How to not die from nose diving or flying out of a quarter? What specifically about that? How not to die from nose diving? I think how not to die in anything just comes from experience and riding a long time. One cool thing about these cranks is that you literally can't get them messed up, the alignment, because it's freaking 8 different options, and if you get it wrong, it's very obvious. Greasing up the bolt. To all 10 of you who are still watching this right now, thank you. I just yell, "Oh God," and that seems to work. You're not wrong, Jeff. Just yell and hope that it pulls you out from it. Okay. That seems good. Let's check our spacing. Spacing there's good. Spacing there is good. Now, take the pedal apart before even taking it off to see if it's going to work. In what positions should I stand when hitting the ramp like manual? Just ride up it and like normal riding. You got to learn to deal with every individual situation. That is the truth, man. I don't think, yeah, that's not going to work. And I don't think, I might have to grab a tool. Yeah, I gotta grab neutral. That's a good description of it. Thank you, Skylar. I don't believe that I have the correct size right here, so I have to grab it. And I don't know what the size is. Come ride Michigan one day. Okay, let's see which one it is. Not that one. Just got that covered in grease. Not that one. Smaller. What the heck? This is way smaller than I thought it was. It's a 10. Okay. Got it. You got your glow bars. Nice. Can you hang 5? I cannot hang 5. That trick is hard. How do I do this? There. Just needed to break it loose. I guess if I go super fast at the ramp, it should work. Perfect mentality. Just work your way up to it. Why is that not coming off? I feel like that should be coming off. There we go. Alright, so here's where we find out the moment of truth. Hey, hey, hey! It did work. Awesome. Because I'm pretty sure this guy's bent. That's the thing. Pedal spindles bend. When you ride hard, it just happens. What's the scariest trick you've ever done? Maybe, what's BF stand for? Once you let me know what BF stands for, I'll be able to answer. I have no idea. Oh yeah, I do have a how to air out video. Thanks for that, because I totally forgot about it. Oh, dude. I don't remember off the top of my head which way to take this. Jeff. Backflip. No, I don't backflip. Can't backflip. Never have. I don't like backflips. Jeff, help me. Oh, I just grabbed that. Maybe I should put that onto the other one, since it's there. I'd have to think about the scariest trick I've ever done, though. Man, that stuff is slimy. Same as the freewheel. I can't remember. They both go the same direction. I just can't remember which one's which, or which way it is right now off the top of my head. I'm a terrible YouTube BMX video help maker. Might as well, right? Tighten that one. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm just freaking psyched that this spindle works. I rode this one until it was too noticeable. Okay. While I'm here, let's tighten some pedal pins. Right is right. Right is right to what? To loosen it or to tighten it? I know I just need to sit here and think about it for a second, but I haven't got that far yet. Taking off pedals is the worst. Once again, I have a video for this. I just can't remember. So if you're thinking about this, forward would be to tighten it, because you're pedaling the bike and it wants to tighten that way. So backwards should loosen it. Problem is, I don't know. And this doesn't have 17 on it, because 17 is not a conventional pedal size. So we bust out the big guns. Oh, this is such an awkward angle. Ow! I think I'm doing it wrong. Oh, I can see how bent this is from the top. That's funny. Oh, well, didn't mean to do that, but that gives me something to grab a hold of. There. Don't fall. Gotcha. Why would I stand up? That just makes sense. I do not have a tutorial on feeble to 180 because I can't do that trick. I'm curious. Can you see? I'm fairly certain that it's bent. I should have had it in the pedal to test it. Major shout outs to my dude Philip Rinaldi at Full Factory for helping me out with this pedal. I used welding machines and that worked. Nice. The thing about this one is that, one, it doesn't have an Allen wrench thing in it, but two, it is also a 17. Just kidding, it's not a 17, it's a 15. Oh, I went the wrong way. You'd think I would have learned. Well, I'm glad to have this sorted out. I can get used to having pedals that are straight again. Okay. Snug this up. If you get 10K subs, we do some sort of challenge. Absolutely. But it's not going to be a backflip. Sorry. Backflip can be 1 million. because I told myself that I would never ever do a backflip. Man, my bike is gonna feel so good after today. Brakes are gonna be dialed again. Got my cranks all situated. Pedals. Got a new spindle in it. Get it all spinning all nice. Front flip. Ha! No way, Jose. You got the wrong guy. What's up, Paul James? You here to tell me how I'm doing this all wrong? Okay. Got all of that done. Cranks are tight. Pedals good to go. I think I can flip the bike back around, get the wheels centered, and call it good. Flips are fun. I'm sure they are fun, but I don't want to do it. Not till a million. Really enjoyed that video you did with Chris Doyle. Thanks, man. It was fun. Riding with Doyle's always fun. Okay, let's see here. Get the chain back on the sprocket. Let the bike situate itself. Stony, thanks for dropping by. I hope you have a Merry Christmas as well, and your lady friend. Thank you. If you guys don't know Stony, get to know Stony on his channel. Subscribe to him, because he is a rad dude. And he's also an old fat guy who's trying to relearn BMX. Okay, let's see here. Chain is way too tight. Thanks, Paul. I'm trying to maintain it. Make sure it stays nice. Because I have not worked on this thing like this in way too long. It's far overdue, so we're doing it. Oh, let's see. If the chain is... It's not too tight anymore. Let's see. We're going to tighten the non-drive side. Let's see if I can follow my own video without watching it. Oh, oops. Let's rotate this to where it's supposed to be and rotate the whole stand. There. Nope, it's too tight. Thought I had it first try. I'm like, oh, it's meant to be. Let's add 2 more pegs to that bad boy. I thought about it. I probably will in a year or two. Thanks for hanging out, Tom. New wheels, frame, and forks on their way. Nice. The reason I don't want to flip is because I don't want to go upside down. That's it. That's my reason, and I'm sticking to it. Can I double? 1, 2. If I kick it hard enough, I can double. It's centered. Let's tighten this thing down and hope that nothing moves on me. Sweet. Oh, that chain got a little tighter though. Well, let's tighten the peg side down. 4 pegs or 2. I can't read. A year or 2. Jesus. That's how bad my eyes are from far away. I thought you said 4 pegs or 2. A year or 2. No, I'll probably do it at some point. Just so I can learn opposite ice picks. Because I think that would be a sweet trick to learn. So from right here, 1, 2. 2 might be a stretch. We will see. Do I have a wobble? I couldn't feel it on the stand before. I don't feel anything now. Chain is more properly aligned, so that's good. One thing I definitely need to check, and if you have the Odyssey keychain, you need to check too, is that your pins are always tight. Oops. Because the other day I was riding and I looked down and my pin was not tight because I didn't pay attention to it enough. Oh, you know what I need to do? I haven't done this in way too long. I need to lube my chain. That's going to make my crank spin so much better. I probably just put way too much on there. Oh, that just got so much smoother. That was my problem. Alright, I'm going to use this rag to like spread out some of this chain lube that I just got on everything. Oh yeah. Oh, the triples, baby. Ooh, baby, a triple. No, doubles for sure. I got to do a double crank flip today. Man, that's exciting. Okay. Now we work on the brakes. Put on the other side. I think I see the issue. Looks like a keychain. Dude, I love this chain. What are you talking about? Oh, my buddy from who moved out to Oklahoma just texted me. Send him a picture real quick. Kurt, what do you got against the keychain? I want to know. Not too much line. It wipes off and gets on the rim sometimes. I think you meant lube, but I understand. Bolt-on sprockets are not totally round. A good lube of chain is a good idea. Yeah, I figured that out. What's up, Paul? Or Bob? You're not late. You're just on time. I had a spline drive, and I still got tight spots because I beat the crap out of my sprocket. There's just no getting around it for me, which I'm fine with. Now I'm gonna finish my brakes. Ow, what is that? Oh, I just got a metal piece in my hand. This sounds like a good job for my park tool pliers. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna keep working. Or it came out. It's not a Supreme chain. Oh, I wasn't even picking at the right spot. I don't like half-length chains. They get too loose. Like the pins side, or the plates side to side. Geez, you're live early. Is there a spline drive guard sprocket out there? There is. I don't have it right here. The Madeira Signet sprocket. It has spline drive options. But I just beat the crap out of it so bad that, like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter for me. There's what I'm looking for. Okay. So now is a perfect time. Ooh. Maybe not quite perfect time. You need to at least tighten things down almost to the point that they're starting to tighten. Oh yeah, I forgot. You know, I am biased against anything from that full factory, regardless how good it does or doesn't work. Hey, when you're the best, man, all you have is haters. And it's totally the truth that Odyssey and Sunday make the best stuff. Now, if I could just figure out where the brake spring hole is on this brake arm. Oh, I'm literally trying for the wrong side of it completely. There. Supreme chain is better against the loosening. I also don't like that the side plates come loose. Yeah, dude, it's annoying. Every Shadow chain I ever had the plates come loose on the side after, like, not a very long time. So I'm like, yeah. The chain just feels like I could pull it apart, which obviously the Shadow chains are really good. That's why everybody likes them. But I don't know. I just found the keychain and really liked it. Okay. So the thing about doing this with the stuff. Oh. The thing about messing with your pads without stuff hooked up is that I just realized the brakes, they do have a certain amount of wiggle to them because there is room between the mount and the brake arm itself. So I think I'm just going to do it and see how good they are after the fact. Everyone is entitled to opinions, right or wrong. Hey, you know, Just because you get a discount on stuff from whatever warehouse that is. I have a KMC cheapo chain that's held up for a long time. I was kind of surprised. Man, I had a buddy who used to swear by Walmart chains. Okay. I've got too much stuff in the floor. I can't wiggle or move around good. Okay. Now. That pad's good. Now let's adjust the tension on the other side. Once again, this is another thing that I have an entire video about. I do think this pad is off though. There is not one chain to rule them all. People do different kinds of riding and have different preferences. Kurt and I just like to give each other crap. I get 0 deals. I just had Wombolts and the ordeal was enough. Oh, boo. I see what's going on here. So one thing about brake pads, and I'll show you closer up what I'm talking about, is that if you don't run them flat on the sidewall of your rim, like some of it hangs off, you're gonna wear like not a groove, but you're gonna wear a raised area into your pad. So check this out. I didn't have the pad aligned on the rim, like it was hanging down. So you can see there's a little bit, how do I do this better? Where do I move? This way, this way. Give me some focus here. There it is. Now if it would focus, there. So you can see there's like a point there. It's because the pad wore from me not having it flush. So I had this problem on the other side, and literally I just cut it off. Hopefully that's good. Time to put it back together. Oh yeah, another thing is I've got these pads that have the bolts that go in them because it is so much better for your shoes. You're not catching the nuts on your shoes, and it's just a lot easier to work with. I think it's a little bit harder to like put them in initially, but once you get them put on there, like once you get the bolt through and everything's lined up, it's dialed. It's just kind of awkward to do it the first time. You know, just kind of awkward to do it the first time. But if you put the bolt through the brake arm first, it's really no less or no more awkward than the conventional style of brake pad. Yeah, Brant, let's see your scavenger frame. How'd you know I had one? It's hanging, no, it's not hanging. It's on a shelf buried. I'm sorry. I would grab it, but it's buried on a shelf right now. How'd you know I had that frame? Are those fly pads? No, they're the Eclat version because the fly were out of stock, or they didn't have the clear ones on QBP or something weird. Didn't they call it muggin tubing? I don't know what that means. You showed us it one time. Oh, I don't remember. I have a bad memory sometimes. Oh, this is the most awkward part. Pulling on the brakes and oh my gosh, am I gonna have the clap? Not like that. That pad's not far enough down. Tighten it. Tighten it quick before it moves. Dang it, it moved. Brake pads are the worst part because they're so hard to get right. What's everybody saying? Bro. The tunnel frame. You commented on the picture of my buddy's built-up Scavenger. Do those tighten up better than the fly ones? I haven't used the fly ones personally, so I don't know. I just knew that the fly ones existed when I was at the bike shop one day. So I wanted some, and whenever I checked to see if they were in, or see how I could get them, they weren't there. Oh, there it is. Okay, so tighten that. Oh my gosh, those feel so good. Sweet. But what was I trying to say? What was I trying to say about the fly ones? So I wanted to order the fly ones. I was at the shop. We checked QBP because QBP is the one who usually has fly stuff there. And they had the black ones in, but you couldn't get it's like QBP didn't have the clear ones. But then we found the Eclat pads, and they look like the exact same thing, so we just ordered those. Made from double-butted muggin tubing that is 20% stronger than chromoly tubing. Well, I'll tell you what. That frame was absolutely not stronger than chromoly. 100%. I'll dig it out just to show you why. Alright, I got it. It wasn't as buried as I thought. Okay, So here's the bridge seat stay. Here's the frame itself. Scavenger bridge, one of the first frames to have, or maybe even the first frame to have a designed seat stay bridge. Couple things I hated about this frame. I did like the frame, and I thank Ralph for this frame, because I made a video for Hamilton back in 2012, and they sent me this for making that video. I never made a video for anyone before that was like that level, so I didn't know that you could just get a frame like that for making a video. Like, they could have paid me, or they could have gave me a frame and I needed a frame or something, whatever. So it was awesome getting it from them. But there's two things about this frame. One, the brake mounts tighten from inside the mount. So like, you have to have an Allen wrench. We'll just give an example here. This is how you tighten this brake mount. You put an Allen wrench into the mount and you tighten it like that. So if this mount comes loose while your brakes are on there, you have to loosen the bolt out of the mount and then be able to tighten it. And there's one problem with that. How are you going to loosen a bolt that's tight with a loose mount that spins when you try to loosen the bolt? So literally what you have to do is loosen the entire thing using the bolt. Take it all the way out, messing with your spring, messing with everything. Then you've got to vice grip the threads of this thing to get the bolt off. And it's just a huge ordeal. There's no way to tighten it. And then the other thing is that this is from 2 attempts where I was attempting a Fufanu and I hit the frame, like literally just bailed off of the back end of the bike. Bike's in my hands, bars are in my hands. So the bike is dropping with me, like holding it up and giving it resistance, so it's not the full weight of the bike and the momentum. So I'm Fufanuing, I'm bailing, bike's out in front of me, I come down and I'm holding it up as good as I can. And the frame still manages to hit the metal thing I was trying to foof. 2 attempts. Look at that. 2 attempts. Dude, that is insane. Yeah, I think it's the Edwin Scavenger frame. Obviously, nobody who rode for Strangers ever had no one who ever rode for Scavenger ever had brakes on this thing, so it didn't matter. But that's kind of part of why I have a Soundwave now, because I like to Fufanu stuff and sprocket stuff and all of that. If I land on the frame, the Soundwave does not dent. It's not supposed to dent. I did dent one time, but it was like the tiniest. It's nowhere near this. It was like a tiny little dent. So it's kind of like, yeah. Cool thing. Cool of them to give me. Cool to have this. But, that's not good, man. Putting it back. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm on my way. I'm here. I made it. Okay. Thin wall tubing. Honestly, I have no idea. Growing up in the NJ-NY area, the only people riding them was the team and homies of the team. Jeff Mead! Speaking of Jeff Mead and Scavenger, the Fufanu you did at Ray's is what did that to that frame. I flew out of it a couple times. Landed on the deck. So I'm literally like on the deck. It's not like I was in the transition. Literally on the deck of the quarter. And that happened to that frame. On the exact one that you did. in the Subaru room. So at this point, all I need to do is adjust my brakes and get everything where I want it. Back wheel is tight. Crank situation, I'm doing doubles all day long. First show. Listen to that coaster. Look at it coast. Look at it cassette. Instant pedal pressure to instant coaster. I just love it. That's all there is to it. So later today, Victoria and I are going to build up her bike, which is now the Surf Blue Soundwave. We're going to put the coaster on it. We're going to put the front brakes on it. Pretty psyched. Other than that, though, dude, I've been going for an hour and 15 minutes at this point. So, I think I'm going to jet out of here and get ready to go ride my bike with my buddy who's in town for Christmas. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. I got to get this cleaned up so I can go ride my bike. I'm psyched that it's all done. I got to do something about that brake pad at some point. But that being said, I think we're done here. Yep, we're done. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is probably going to be the video for today because it's an hour and a half long and it's noon. So, thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.